Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. This is a public meeting, and we do have one letting and one hearing today, so we will handle the letting first. So Helen, when you're ready, you can read the bids.
Sir. Okay, we are ready. We have three bids. Letting 8784 renovations to field house at Fox Park. We have Raineri Construction, Raineri Construction. Total bid amount, excuse me. Total bid amount is $541,963. 541,963.00. Aspire Construction Services LLC, ASPIRE Construction Services, $503,000. 503,000.00. And Jackson Building Group Incorporated, JACKSON Building Group. Total bid amount is $585,652.10. 585,652.10. And those are the bids.
Okay, Helen, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
At this time, we will handle hearing numbered 8289. This hearing number 8289 is being conducted pursuant to Chapter 8.24 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. The applicant, Zumi Fang, doing business as Jasmine Fang Spa, is proposing to operate a massage establishment at 7000 Chippewa Street, City of St. Louis, Missouri, 63119. As outlined in Section 8.24 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis, the Board of Public Service may approve issuance of a license following hearing if all the requirements for a massage establishment are met unless they find: A, the operation as proposed by the applicant, if permitted, would not have complied with all applicable laws, including but not limited to the building, health, city planning, housing, zoning, and fire codes of the City of St. Louis. B, the applicant and other person who will be directly engaged in the management and operation of a massage establishment has been convicted of: 1, a felony not involving sexual misconduct with children, obscenity, keeping or residing in a house of ill fame, solicitation of a lewd or unlawful act, prostitution, or pandering. 2, an offense involving sexual misconduct with children. And 3, obscenity, keeping or residing in a house of ill fame, solicitation of a lewd or unlawful act, prostitution, or pandering. The Board of Public Service, in its discretion, may authorize issuance of a license to any person convicted of any of the felonies listed in Section 8.24 if it finds the conviction occurred at least 3 years prior to the date of the application and the applicant has had no subsequent convictions. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of Chapter 8.24 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. 2, a copy of the massage therapist certificate for Zumi Fang, valid through January 31st, 2027, from the Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance Division of Professional Registration, the Missouri Board of Therapeutic Massage. 3, a completed application for a massage establishment license for 7000 Chippewa Street. 4, certificate of occupancy and zoning numbered OP-676-24, issued on December 7th, 2024 for 7000 Chippewa Street. 5, a copy of the transcript of conviction arrest information from the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department Records Section indicating that Zumi Fang has no record of conviction in St. Louis City as of December 17th, 2024. Item 6, a letter from the Director of Health, Commissioner Victoria N. Wari, stating the community sanitation staff has inspected the facility at 7000 Chippewa Street on December 23rd, 2024, and found no evidence of health code violations. The issuance of a license for a massage establishment was recommended. Item 7, the copies of public notice for this hearing published in the City Journal on January 21st, January 28th, and February 4th, 2025. Item 8, copies of letters dated January 14th, 2025, sent from the Secretary of the Board notifying the applicant Zumi Fang, Jasmine Fang Spa, and the property owners Rocco R. and Sandra Braddock of this hearing. And item 9, copies of the posted public notices for this hearing. The Board of Public Service will swear in and hear from the representatives from the city departments, followed by the applicants and those in support of the application. The board will then allow those in opposition, if any, to address the board. Today's testimony is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and write down your address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board, not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent, not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following this hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. At this time, the board asks that the city representative from the Department of Health to please come forward and be sworn in. Is anyone here from the Department of Health? I don't see anyone on the screen. In the room with you, Michelle?
No, there's not.
Okay, and no one in the chat. One more time, anyone from Department of Health to testify? Seeing none, please let the record reflect that no one from the Department of Health was present to testify at today's hearing. At this time, we'll ask the city representative from the Division of Building and Inspection Zoning Section to please come forward and be sworn in.
The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Please state your name for the board, please.
Sandra Long, Zoning Department.
Thank you.
So just one question for you, Sandra. Is it your recommendation that a license be issued to the applicant for the proposed use of this facility at 7000 Chippewa Street?
It is.
Okay, and is there anything else that you would like to tell the board at this time?
No, there's nothing else.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'll ask if any of our board members have any questions for Ms. Long. Seeing none, thank you for your testimony today. At this time, the board asks the applicant to please come forward and be sworn in. Please unmute yourself, please. Should be at the bottom of your screen in the left-hand corner. STL TV, can you please help Mr. Chen unmute himself? There we go.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and your mailing address for the board.
Sean Chen. I'm the agent for Sure Made Farm. My mailing address 8510 Olive Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri 63132.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a series of questions to ask you, sir, if you would just answer them for me.
Yes.
So at this time, can you please tell me how many employees you will have at the establishment?
Well, at this point, it's only planned to have her own son, her own daughter-in-law working with her.
So that would be 3, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And do all of these masseuses and masseurs have their Missouri State professional therapist license?
yes, they're all licensed.
Okay. And have you completed a police record check for the purpose of this application?
Yes.
And what were the results of that check?
All the background are clear, no any criminal records or any any records.
No convictions, correct?
No.
Thank you. Okay, and I have a series of questions to ask you after this one, so if you just kind of follow along with me. Have you read and will you be able to comply with all the provisions of chapter 8.24 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis? Specifically, item 1, do you understand that as an operator of this massage establishment, you are at all times responsible for the orderly conduct of the establishment and the acts of any agents, servants, or employees in the operation of this establishment?
Yes, we do.
Number 2, do you understand that every portion of the proposed massage establishment shall be kept clean and operated in a sanitary manner?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and finally, number 3, will you be able to comply with all the operating regulations for massage establishments as provided in 8.24.130 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. At this time, I'll give you an opportunity to address the board and say anything that you would like to say.
Well, nothing further.
Okay, and so at this time, I'll ask our board members if they have any questions for our applicant today. Okay, seeing none, thank you very much. At this time, if there's anyone in support of the proposed establishment that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. I do not see anyone else on the screen or in the chat. And Michelle, there's no one with you in the room, correct?
That's correct.
So one more time, if there's anyone else in support of the proposed establishment that wishes to testify, please bring it to my attention at this time. Seeing none, let the record reflect that there are no additional persons in support who wish to testify today. At this time, if there's anyone in opposition to the proposed establishment that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Again, I don't see anyone on the screen or in the chat and no one in the room with you, Michelle. Okay. One more time, if there's anyone in opposition to this establishment that wishes to testify, please bring it to my attention at this time. Seeing none, let the record reflect that there is no one else in opposition to testify at today's hearing. At this time, the matter concerning hearing number 8289 is now closed and submitted. The board will deliberate the matter following the remaining agenda items. I will ask Secretary to please call the roll.
Director Coyle? Director Davis?
Aye.
Director Hayes?
Present.
Director Patel?
Present.
Director Pearson is excused. Director Williams,
Present.
President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I will call this meeting to order.
Regular business from the president. Recommendation that approval be given as follows. Abstract of proposals received on December 3rd, 2024 for the public work as advertised under letting number 8780. Concrete and brick removal, replacement and complete sidewalk installation, project number SP-121. The lowest responsible bid was received by TPC Infrastructure Group LLC for $763,486.50, and it is recommended that it be given preliminary approval. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract Number 75268. Diagnostic, repair, replacement, service, and troubleshooting on cutting systems, electrical, engines, hydraulic, and PTOs for various outdoor power equipment with Arts Lawn Mower Shop, Inc. This first amendment extends the term in section 1 of the original agreement to January 6, 2027, and increases the contract maximum not to exceed amount by $300,000. Amendment number 1 to Equipment Services Division Service Contract Number 76080. Diagnostic, repair, replacement, and service for OEM, computer and drive systems, engine and transmission on construction equipment with Roland Machinery Company. This first amendment extends the term in section 1 of the original agreement to January the 20th, 2027, and increases the contract maximum not to exceed amount by $856,000. Plans and specifications for letting number 8785, Compton Hill Reservoir Park, building improvement BPS project number 2022-80-075. The estimated cost of this work is $126,881.03, authorized by ordinance number 71656 and funded by Parks Ward Capital Funds. PSA number 1288, task order contract for on-call architectural and engineering services with Kai for the maximum agreement amount of $600,000. PSA number 1289, task order contract for on-call architectural and engineering services with Oculus, Inc. for the maximum agreement amount of $600,000. Supplemental agreement number 3 to PSA number 1147, installation of new 25 MGD raw water and 15 MGD finished water pumping units at the Chain of Rocks Water Treatment Plant, and the design of 2 additional pumps at the Howard Bend Water Treatment Plant with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly, Inc. in the amount of $80,422. This supplemental agreement is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by ordinance number 69347. From the Director of Public Utilities, a recommendation that the board declares as emergency action for the following. All labor to perform startup and commissioning on Pump 2 at the distributive pumping station at the Chain of Rocks Water Treatment Plant. The estimated cost of this work is $22,874.60. All labor, parts, and equipment for lead abatement on Pump 11 at the Howard Bend Water Treatment Plant. The estimated cost of this work is $5,300. Chain of Rocks clarifier HVAC replacement. The estimated cost of this work is $85,000. From the Directors of Public Safety and Utilities, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Russell Holding Group LLC to subdivide 1027 through 1029 Lamy Street in City Block 799. From the Directors of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri, to set 7 poles along Quincy Street. The extension will string over South Broadway to 201 East Nagle Avenue. Joint recommendation that 4 applications from AT&T be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 0 for 6141 Lagoon Drive. Application number 2 for 4316 Vista Avenue. Application number 3 for 6402 Idaho Avenue. Application number 8 for 4921 Oakland Avenue. Joint recommendation that 2 applications from Charter be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 181 for 6301 Knox Industrial Drive. application number 183 for 4157 East Lee Avenue. We have 5 conditional uses from the Director of Public Safety.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Sandra Long, Plan Examiner for the city, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner at today's meeting. Per Board Order number 766 transmitted herewith are recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 5 applications: 3227 Chippewa, 5622 South Grand, 2605 Hampton, 4180 Manchester first floor, and 6017 Natural Bridge. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Are there any questions or comments on today's conditional uses?
Greg Hayes, I make a motion to approve the conditional uses as submitted by Ms. Long.
Second Davis.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle, Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Williams. Aye. President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Thank you. Hearing numbered 8289, Jasmine Fang Spa, operate a massage establishment at 7,000 Chippewa, St. Louis, Missouri 63119. We have a letter from the Director of Health noting that there were no health code violations noted during the inspection. We had testimony from the Division of Building and Inspection section. It is their recommendation that a license be issued to the applicant. We also had the applicant testify, and he said he would be, and his establishment would be in, meet all provisions of Chapter 8.24 of the revised code. And there was no one else in support or in opposition to this application. So this time I'll ask if there's any questions or comments from any of our board directors. Seeing none, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the conditional use. Excuse me. I make a motion to approve Mr. Chen and what he's come here for today.
Is there a second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve. Can you please call the roll?
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Williams. Aye. President Bradley.
Aye, the conditional use is approved. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from our last meeting, January 28th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments on the meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve Williams. Can you hear it? Hello?
Is there a
Yes.
second?
Second Davis.
Oh,
Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Abstain.
so noted. Director Williams. Aye. President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments on our BPS meeting agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve Williams.
Second Patel.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Williams. Aye. President Bradley.
Aye, today's agenda is approved. Before we adjourn, are there any questions or any comments from any of our board directors? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Hayes.
Second.
Davis.
Thank you, directors. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great afternoon.